Your Denver Broncos just got absolutely dangerous. The one rule is you don't get in a fight with somebody who's got nothing to lose, and that's exactly the situation that the Denver Broncos are going in, as something was stolen from them, and they are now the team in this next game that nobody wants to mess with. We've got Jarrett Stidham, who is an absolute gunslinger. We're going to take a look at some of his best throws from college and from professionals and just feel like, hey, one game, why not us? It is going to be the Denver Broncos with that home field advantage, that altitude, that extra day, that chip on the shoulder for Sean Payton. Breaking that down and way more in this video. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Broncos fan named Ben. Helps me in the algorithm out a ton. If you like the Broncos, would you smash that like and subscribe button? So right off of the bat here, Jarrett Stidham even staying with the Denver Broncos is all because he is a vibes guy. He could have taken multiple offers this offseason and gone to a place he had a better chance of actually getting playing time, yet he stayed because of the camaraderie that he has with this team. Susie Wargen hit it up best that constantly during the offseason, he's sticking around and he's golfing with the entire offensive line and with Will Lutz and with Cortland Sutton. And he's like, hey, I'm a horrible golfer, but vibes are going to be high in my cart. He is the ultimate bro. He's almost like the mascot of this team, and that is such a rare thing. When you get beat out for a starting job, it would be really easy to be bitter at that team, but he stays because of the friendships here, and it's just further evidence of the culture and camaraderie that Sean Payton has built in this locker room, and the type of dude that Bo Nix must be, that you're not angry at the guy who beat you out, but you're like, all right, I'll be your professional hype man, which is what he has been. And so you absolutely have to watch out for that. And again, this Denver Broncos defense is going to be so stinking good that it's going to be hard to put up points on them. And then why not Jarrett Stidham, this guy that the entire team is rallying behind? We started to look at that last night, how multiple players on the team immediately after the Bo Nix injury news is released end up throwing out tweets like, hey, we got your back. We're doing this for you. This one is for Bo. All of that kind of stuff that we heard last night. And Jarrett Stidham is going to be the vehicle for that. This Denver Broncos team has had its back up against the wall and had devastation multiple times throughout the season, and every single time they rise from that. It would have been super easy last season for the Broncos to fold after they had their field goal blocked against the Kansas City Chiefs, yet they still got past that and pushed all the way and made it to the playoffs. You go all the way back to when Sean first started here, that we lost a game 70-20 and then roar back and almost make the playoffs that season. And so this team does not back down to challenges. It jumps over top of them and uses those as motivation. And you know that this entire team has to be feeling like something that was handed to them on a silver platter that they earned, they rightly earned. They put in all the work here to have a game in which they are favored, that they were just going to mollywop the Patriots next week. And it just walk into the Super Bowl with all the vibes in the world, and they have to feel like that was stolen from them. And so I just think you're going to see a team come out and play possessed next week and play with a level of motivation that you've never seen. Now, the other side could be they let this thing cripple them, and it's it kills the vibes and kills the morale. But what part of watching these Broncos under Sean Payton has you feel like we're going to react adversely to adversity? We're not. And you just see this friendship between Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham goes back all the way to when Bo Nix ended up going to Auburn after, and you just see a picture of a teenager Bo Nix here with Jarrett Stidham. The tightness between these dudes, do not be surprised whatsoever if you're seeing, as soon as he has that surgery done on Tuesday, if Bo Nix is the one in his ear helping him be prepared for this game. And again, when you get to the playoffs, you were talking about a team that has zero prep on you, and Sean Payton has 8 days now to dissect exactly how he wants to exploit this New England Patriots team, and they don't have the answer key for him. And it's going to be a very, very dangerous situation. On top of that, you just see Sean Payton knows that he not only has this chance to be the only coach who wins the Super Bowl for multiple teams, but one of his heroes and a guy who's on the coaching tree is Bill Parcells, who had a chance to. Jeff Hostetler ended up getting hurt and then going on all the way to the highest stake that you could possibly be in. And so the proof is there. And then Jarrett Stidham is not just a career backup or anything. He is a type of dude who has shown NFL pedigree multiple times in his NFL career, starting with his first ever start for the Vegas Raiders. And he was playing up against the San Francisco 49ers, the top ranked defense in all of football when he started. And he went on, they lost the game 37-34. But if you take a look at how he performed in this game, it was absolutely wild that he ended up, throwing something 300 and something yards, multiple touchdowns. We're going to take a look at this. Second quarterback ever since 1950 to throw for 350 passing yards in their first career start. And it was just like a coming out party for what this dude was capable of. Again, this was not some fly-by-night defense. This was the number one defense in football, and he balled out of control. Davante Adams said after this game that he greeted and high-fived all the players coming into the locker room with blood between his teeth because he was so fired up and had gotten hit so many times in that game. So a quarterback who's like got a bloody mouth and is dapping everybody up coming into the locker room sounds exactly like what Bo Nix just did last night, like doing that press conference after the game on a broken ankle and not letting anyone see him bleed. Jarrett Stidham let him see him bleed, but in like a motivating way. And you just see the arm talent on absolute full display here for him, that he can make every throw in the book. And then I was taking a look here. He targets wide or tight ends in a way that Bo Nix just didn't. And I'm not saying that like is a better thing. Obviously, I would take Bo Nix every day of the week over Jarrett Stidham, obviously. But I think it just puts in that wrinkle here that we know Evan Ingram is a very, very serviceable tight end. And we haven't seen the ceiling for what Evan Ingram can be. And I think the Patriots haven't seen anything of what the Broncos can do with a tight end. So that's like a crazy, crazy wrinkle that the Broncos are going to throw in here of like, the Broncos utilizing the tight end room in a way that they hadn't before. What's up, everyone? I've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook, and a massive shout out to them, the sponsor of this video. It is the most wonderful time of the year. We have an amazing playoff slate ahead of us, and there's no better time to get in the action. And the DraftKings Sportsbook app has an incredible deal for new customers. New customers can turn a $5 bet into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins using my promo code STDenver. That's STDenver on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers, $5 bet into $300 in bonus bets. Incredible deal. The crown is yours. You can then use those bonus bets for things like a same game parlay. You can stack them for even a bigger shot at a big payout. Incredible deal. Make sure you go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and remember to game responsibly. The crown is yours. And we just got to remember, like, what were some of the things folks were saying about Jarrett Stidham before he ended up coming to Denver and bouncing all over the league, was that a lot of people were salty at the fact that the New England Patriots somehow lucked into him. Like, you're seeing Matt Nagy's brother, Jim Nagy, come out and say, like, that he was talented enough to be Brady's long-term successor, that he was the steal of the NFL draft, that he could make every single throw in the book, and that he was a high character guy and the locker room guy. Chris Sims came out and said Jarrett Stidham reminds him of a Tony Romo, just like executes everything you could possibly see and does it with a lot of poise, that there's nothing physically talented about him. Like, seeing him, he's not hopping off the bus looking like Cam Newton or anything, but that he's a pure thrower of the football with great mechanics and knows the playbook as well as Bo Nix does, that there's no doubt about that. Like, he's actually been in the Sean Payton system longer than Bo Nix has been, and we saw what he looked like when Sean Payton moved on from Russell Wilson for Jarrett Stidham, and they were asked, like, why did you move on from Russell Wilson to Jarrett Stidham? And he said it was for winning football games. He didn't say he was doing that to kick Russell Wilson to the curb. He thought that Jarrett Stidham gave him a better chance of winning than Russell Wilson did, and like, that tells you everything you need to know about Jarrett Stidham. Doesn't have the arm of Tom Brady, but it's not far off, and Tom Brady had an absolute arm to him. And again, you just look at every single scout coming to him out of college. It was saying that the Patriots never should have been able to get him where they did. This is a classic New England pick, a talented, smart player who is undervalued because of his college circumstances. And we've got some highlights here of him in the preseason where he threw, like 400 some yards in the preseason and just dotted it up and brought like a leveler of swagger to it. He had a couple times in this year's preseason where he actually does like that Steph Curry thing where as the ball's in the air, he's turning his body and walking away from it. And so we're seeing highlights here of him. This is actually this game's regular season when he came in for Russell Wilson, hitting Jerry Jeudy. So I just think like this Broncos team is going to be more fired up than you have ever seen them. They're not going to back down. They haven't in all of these years. And you've got a quarterback that I think you have this one game advantage. And then after that, we talk about what is the Super Bowl matchup. And you give Sean Payton 2 weeks against anyone else in the NFL. And I'm taking Sean Payton. I just am. And so this is absolutely still wide open for the Denver Broncos, and it's easy to be discouraged. Obviously, like we all have fallen in love with Bo Nix, but Jarrett Stidham is him as well. And I think you see a team that's already bought into Jarrett Stidham, and they're going to not only be rallied for Bo Nix, but I think they all want this for Jarrett Stidham as well. If he comes out and puts on a clinic like I think he's going to, you're also looking at a world where, like, if another team signs him next season, the Broncos are going to be getting some compensatory picks from him. So he has this opportunity to go and play in a game that I think any quarterback in the NFL would love a chance to go in and play in an AFC championship game for all the marbles with this team that has your back. And it's just super exciting. I think it's also cool here. Cecil Lammey threw this out there. That Jarrett Stidham actually threw a touchdown pass to our boy, number 88 himself, Demaryius Thomas. And so there's like that element here of like, hey, boom, he threw a pass to DT. Now he has a chance to throw a touchdown pass to Cortland. Just close the entire loop. It feels great. And then the last thing I wanted to just say here is that Sean Payton, absolute brilliant. He deserves Coach of the Year. If you didn't see that last night watching that game, you don't know football. What he's been able to get out of this team, knowing that our biggest amount of cap this year actually went to Russell Wilson. I don't know what to tell you if you don't think Sean Payton's the Coach of the Year, but Sean Payton is 8-1 in his entire career with backup quarterbacks. He had Teddy Bridgewater come in for a spell to after Drew Brees had a hand injury, and Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0 as the starter there, and he called Drew Brees up and made a joke about it in a press conference this year and said, hey, man, just take as much time as you need. Are you sure you're ready to come back this week? Because I think we're doing all right without you. Obviously, you want a Hall of Famer like Drew Brees is back as fast as possible, but Sean Payton has this pedigree, 8-1 with backup quarterbacks, and part of that is the advantage, especially at this point in the game when so much is relying on film study and all of the preparation that goes into this game, that y'all got nothing to prepare for our man Stiddy, which is just a phenomenal thing. And then knowing that Sean Payton had planned for this from the very jump, that the first move that Sean Payton did before he got Ben Powers, before he did anything else, was he went out and got his backup quarterback here in Jarrett Stidham, and has said, like, I think Jarrett Stidham could be starting on a ton of teams. And you take a look at the total cap space, Jarrett Stidham's making more than Bo Nix right now, obviously, because he's on his rookie deal, but you're seeing he's making more than Zach Wilson, Michael Penix, JJ, all those rookies, but then also he's making more than Mac Jones, and Mac Jones this year came in for Brock Purdy and went 5-3, and he beat teams like the Texans and the Giants, and he beat the Rams, and so you've just seen worlds where if you don't have a chance to prepare, the advantage goes to whoever has the surprise and whoever has the punch that you are not seeing coming. So I think the Broncos have more than a puncher's chance on Sunday against the New England Patriots, and I cannot wait for that. And then love just seeing the final proof here that everybody was wondering, like, with the Broncos here, like, hey, has Sean Payton lost his fastball? Look how bad the Broncos looked in these last two games against the Chiefs backups and against obviously the Chargers backups. Like, hey, this Broncos offense isn't good. And then Bo Nix goes out and throws it almost 50 times on the second best passing defense in football and scores 33 points on the Buffalo Bills. And so clearly, when I came out and said, hey, Sean isn't showing his A punch here, he is not showing you all of his cards, and everyone's like, well, Sean told us he was throwing out his best shot, and I'm like, yeah, of course he's going to say that because he doesn't want bulletin board material, but the proof is in the pudding that the Denver Broncos offense was really just starting to take off. It is a shame we don't get to see it take off these next 2 weeks, but I think we are going to see just a desperation back up against the wall. Nobody believes in us because we're going to shock the world, and we got a ton to BO-Lieve in, but now it's like, I think we got to still leaving. We're still leaving. Stidham leaving. We're still leaving. Guys, don't give up. 2 games away. We got this. All right, I got a couple days to get that back.